Founded in 1903, the Pacific Coast League is one of minor league baseball's two AAA leagues, the other being the International League. As of 2020, the Pacific Coast League is made up of 16 teams from 11 states that are spread across 4 divisions. In terms of its ballparks, the PCL offers all sorts of experiences. Everything from an intimate park in the Northwest to huge parks with outstanding amenities in New Mexico and California. Ballpark names in the Pacific Coast League and elsewhere are something that intrigue me, and I thought you might be interested in hearing more about the origins of each of them. In the Pacific Coast League, we've got one park with a name that pays tribute to The Simpsons, a couple of parks with names that recognize key historical figures, and one that's named after a computer giant. Here are the meanings behind the names of each of the 16 ballparks in the Pacific Coast League. If you're a fan of The Simpsons, hearing the name Albuquerque Isotopes will likely bring a smile to your face. When this franchise relocated from Calgary, Canada, prior to the start of the 2003 season, it chose to call itself the Isotopes. That name, of course, pays tribute to the 2001 Simpsons episode in which Homer learns that the Springfield Isotopes baseball team is planning to move to Albuquerque. The team's ballpark was simply known as Isotopes Park from 2003 through 2019, but had a slight rebranding prior to the start of the 2020 season. It's now technically known as Rio Grande Credit Union Field at Isotopes Park after a naming rights deal was reached with the Rio Grande Credit Union, a credit union founded in 1953 by City of Albuquerque employees. One of the absolute gems of the Pacific Coast League, Southwest University Park has been home of the El Paso Chihuahuas since they moved from Arizona to the Sun City in time for the 2014 season. The ballpark has had the same name since day one, and it'll stay that way for a long time too. Early in 2014, Southwest University signed a 20-year naming rights deal. The university is a post-secondary institution in El Paso, situated only about 5 miles from the ballpark. The school has nursing, digital technology, and automotive programs, among others. Situated in downtown Fresno, Chukchansi Park opened in 2002 with the name Grizzlies Stadium. The park used that name for its first 5 seasons before reaching a naming rights agreement in 2006 with Chukchansi Gold Resort and Casino, a resort and casino operated by the Chukchansi tribe and situated on native land about 40 miles outside of Fresno. The deal will keep the ballpark name for 15 years. The most famous ballpark in Iowa is without question the Field of Dreams site, but seeing the Iowa Cubs in Des Moines is a popular visit for many baseball travelers each summer. When you take in a Cubs game, you'll be doing so at Principal Park, a ballpark that the Cubs have occupied since 1992. It hasn't always had that name, though. From 92 to 2004, the ballpark was called Sec Taylor Stadium in honor of a longtime area sports writer. Late in the 2004 season, the ballpark's name changed to Principal Park after Principal Financial Group signed a naming rights deal, which was extended in 2017 and will carry through 2027. Principal is an investment management and insurance company that was founded in 1879 and has its headquarters in Des Moines. When you hear the name Las Vegas Ballpark, there's a good chance you might assume that the ballpark simply has a generic location-based name, perhaps because it's waiting for a corporate naming deal. You may be surprised, however, to learn that the ballpark's name is anything but generic. Rather, the naming rights belong to the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority, which signed a 20-year deal with the park's ownership group in 2017, 2 years before the ballpark opened. The LVCVA promotes tourism, conventions, and other events in Las Vegas. For all but 2 of their seasons, the Memphis Redbirds have played in AutoZone Park, a ballpark situated in downtown Memphis just a few blocks from the Mississippi River. As you might guess, AutoZone Incorporated holds the naming rights to the ballpark. AutoZone is a retailer of aftermarket automotive parts that has more than 6,000 stores in the US, Brazil, and Mexico. It was founded in 1979 as Auto Shack, but changed its name to AutoZone in 1987. AutoZone is headquartered in Memphis, less than a mile from the ballpark. Nashville Sounds fans now call their home ballpark First Horizon Park, but it wasn't long ago that they were calling it by another name. When this downtown Nashville facility opened in 2015, it had the name of First Tennessee Park. First Tennessee, a financial services company based in nearby Memphis, had secured a 10-year naming rights deal for the new ballpark. First Tennessee Bank made a name change to First Horizon Bank in 2019, which meant that the Sounds ballpark would also require a name change early in 2020. Oklahoma City's minor league ballpark opened in 1998, and in the 2+ decades since, it has had a staggeringly high number of different names. Today, the park is known as Chickasaw Bricktown Ballpark, which has a couple of things going on. Chickasaw refers to the Chickasaw Nation, a Native American nation located in Oklahoma. Bricktown refers to the ballpark's location in the city's Bricktown Entertainment District, as well as the fact that the park is made up of nearly 500,000 bricks. Prior to its current name, the park was called Newcastle Field at Bricktown for a short period of time, thanks to a naming rights agreement with Newcastle Gaming Center, a Chickasaw Nation-owned casino. And previously, the park had the names Red Hawks Field at Bricktown, AT&T Bricktown Ballpark, SBC Bricktown Ballpark, and Southwestern Bell Bricktown Ballpark. And I promise I won't say Bricktown for the remainder of this video. The Omaha Storm Chasers played in Rosenblatt Stadium, the iconic home of the College World Series, from 1969 through 2010, before moving into a new ballpark at the start of the 2011 PCL season. That facility took the Werner Park name following a 2010 naming rights agreement with Werner Enterprises, a transportation and logistics company. Known for their blue big rigs, Werner is based in Omaha, but also has offices in Canada, China, and Mexico. The company dates back to 1956 and has nearly 8,000 tractors on the road today, employing 13,000 people across the world. From the time that it opened in 2009 through the 2015 PCL season, Reno's home carried the simple name Aces Ballpark. The name changed to Greater Nevada Field in early 2016 following a 15-year naming rights deal with financial institution Greater Nevada Credit Union. The credit union, which was established in 1949, is headquartered in nearby Carson City and has branches in several locations throughout the state. Dell Diamond opened in 2000 and has been home to the Round Rock Express ever since. This is an impressive ballpark with a simple naming history. Computer company Dell obtained the naming rights before the park even opened, and the park has carried the same name ever since. Dell renewed its naming rights agreement in 2012, with the current deal extending through the 2023 season. You've almost certainly heard of Dell, and maybe you're even watching this video on a Dell computer, but you might not know that it's headquartered in Round Rock, which is just outside of Austin. Businessman Michael Dell founded the company that bears his name in 1984, and today, Dell produces and sells computers, servers, software, and more. The Sacramento River Cats joined the Pacific Coast League in 2000, moving into a brand new ballpark. For its first 2 decades, the park was known as Raley Field, thanks to a 20-year naming rights agreement with Raley's Supermarkets, which has several stores in California. After that deal expired, not-for-profit health system Sutter Health signed a naming rights agreement that would change the ballpark's name to Sutter Health Park. Sutter Health, which operates 24 hospitals and several other healthcare facilities, as well as employs more than 50,000 people, is based in Sacramento. The Salt Lake Bees play in a ballpark with a name that has a deep connection to the area. The naming rights to Smith's Ballpark are held by Smith's Food and Drug, which is a Utah-based supermarket chain. Although it was an independent company for much of its history, Smith's has been a subsidiary of Kroger since 1998. Smith's Ballpark, which has the largest capacity in the PCL, has had several different names since it opened in 1994. Between 1994 and 2009, it was first known as Franklin Quest Field and then Franklin Covey Field. Afterward, it carried the name Spring Mobile Ballpark until the naming rights deal with Smith's. The city of San Antonio has hosted professional baseball since the late 1880s, which means that a number of different ballparks have been in use. The current home of the Missions is Nelson M. Wolff Municipal Stadium, which sits a short distance to the west of the city's downtown. The ballpark is named after Wolff, who has played a number of roles in San Antonio over the years. In addition to serving as the city's mayor from 1991 to 1995, he has also served his community in the Texas House of Representatives, the Texas Senate, and, most recently, as a county judge. The ballpark that bears his name is just one of 3 in the PCL without a corporate name. With a capacity of just 6,500, Tacoma's Cheney Stadium isn't just the smallest park in the Pacific Coast League. It's also the smallest park in all of AAA baseball. Its intimate vibe aside, Cheney Stadium is named in recognition of local businessman Ben Cheney, He was instrumental in the construction of the ballpark, which opened in 1960, amazingly with the construction taking place in just 42 days. Cheney founded the Cheney Lumber Company in 1936, and although he passed away in 1971, a foundation that bears his name continues to operate today, helping Tacoma residents and communities. AAA baseball came to Wichita prior to the 2020 season thanks to a relocation from New Orleans. There, the team had played in the league as the Zephyrs and Baby Cakes from 1998 to 2019. Riverfront Stadium gets its name from its geographical location. The ballpark sits on the west side of the Arkansas River, which runs through Wichita. Speculation is that this name won't last for long. Once a corporate naming rights partner is found, Wichita baseball fans can expect a change in the name of their professional ballpark. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, I would love a thumbs up. And if you're interested in more content like this, please think about subscribing.